Alright, so welcome to the Jet Blast video blog 3. So after that disaster of an explanation of how to move the jets, this one I'm gonna give you a new disaster and explain how the procedural generation works. Before we get into the code, I'd like to just show you around it a bit. So let's get this dude up in the air and make it harder for him to get hit. And let's actually see what is going on, like where are all these objects coming from. So if you can see down here, I should actually have made this faster. Um, we can see the world being generated as we're watching. So these traces just come down, hit the sphere, and make goodies. Isn't that cool? Uh, we can actually, so this is it in action. So this is spinning the world. These are the generators, and this is the spawn. And it's also tracking the distance. So every time this lights out, that means something is being made, and these are the loops that generate various things. Oh man, I forgot to put the timer again. So okay, it's 47 now. And then that's how it works so far. And then as time goes on, like it changes the generation amount. So I'll also show that. So here we're just watching. That's a cool view, actually. Maybe you should make the game look like this. Uh, and it would be coming the other way. That's actually pretty cool. And so yeah, and it generates all the random stuff based on the rules. So let's see how that works. Let's do this quickly. Alright, so when we start up, we have to kind of like refresh a bunch of stuff. This is just a reset because like if you want to restart instead of having to like destroy this entire actor, which I guess I should just destroy it and respawn it. I don't have to reset all of this stuff again. But I still do need like the start stuff. So the first thing we need is to rotate the world, because if the world is not rotating and we're just spawning stuff on it, it's just going to make a huge pileup. So it's pretty simple. We have a spin amount, we have a spin multiplier. So like if we want to change the rate of spin of the world without like having to save the spin amount. Let's say like here's a power up you want that makes you go fast. While you're pressing a button, you can just change the spin multiplier to like 2 or 5 for like 5 seconds, and then back to 1, and then you get this nice acceleration thing without having to remember the original spin amount, saving it, changing it, and then bringing it back once your effect is done. I hope that makes sense. So we're just adding local rotation to the sphere, but we have two spheres that are spinning. One is spinning slower, so one is actually spinning about 25% the speed of the obstacle one. I'll show you why. I call it the money sphere because that's where all the money and the power-ups get spawned on. So that way it's like actually possible to get them and not be impossible. So this is my spin rate, so every thousandth of a second. Could be an event tick, but at least it's on time. Mostly, I think that's how Unreal works. And then we rotate the world, so we just keep doing this over and over. I like doing these event loops like this instead of like the old like this, because that doesn't look good. So like this, it's like bloop 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 bloop. Anyway, so in here we have our generations. So each one has their own delay range. These will all be plugged in, so they can change based on whether how far you've gotten or whatever. So like for example, the obstacle is kind of already wired up, so the frequency can be changed as the game progresses. So the lower the number, the more obstacles there are, because there's a smaller gap between each generation. So we start obstacle generation. We check if we're allowed to generate stuff. If we are, we set the generate item index to 0. uh, we attach uh, we're going to attach it to the main sphere, the one that's spinning full speed. We want an obstacle, no location offsets, and then we want to generate the object but also restart the loop. So this will just restarts this loop and we go back and wait. When we generate the object, first we have to do a line trace. So we are tracing from, I think I put a billboard somewhere. So the world is really, yes, a weird thing. I can't see, this is a bug, it doesn't let me see anything, which makes it whatever. So anyways, this, actually, maybe I can see it here, ironically. Woo, super fast. So anyway, there's a thing here. I've got the direction from the sphere so that I can just aim it directly to the center where I want it. So I have a trace that goes from let's say the sphere is here. This is the sphere, and I have a trace that's going from here to there. I mean, you already saw it. When it hits, I only want the world dynamic. So just that sphere to be able to be hit. And once this is only just really for the location, truly, and it's a random thing. So so I only want one axis to really change. I'm guessing it's the y axis because x is going forward. So the y axis, I want it to be between. So the obstacles have a higher range because it doesn't matter if some obstacles are like off to the limit where you can't reach. It's like pretty, but the power ups, the money and stuff, I want you to actually be able to touch that, so it's actually within the range that your jet goes in, and the obstacles have a higher range. This checks, so for the money and stuff, um, it goes smaller, and for the obstacles and stuff, it goes bigger. Anyway, once so we make sure that the actor that we got is the spinning world. Make sure we hit the world, so that way if it hits another obstacle or whatever, or a power up, it doesn't just like spawn it on top of it, which would be awkward or interesting. Who knows, maybe. Where is this location offset? Right, so we have an impact point. So because the obstacles have no location offsets, like the power ups and stuff do, because I don't want them to be like stuck onto the ground. I want them to be floating a bit. So we have a bit of a location offset. So it's random. So it's between like 2,000 units off the ground and 8,000 units off the ground. Not too high, not too low. That's what that's for. So I get the impact point plus the location offset, and then so then we spawn an actor from the generated class. We can't really expose on spawn because it doesn't know what class it's going to be. So based on the class that we assign, so it's either going to be money, obstacle, power-ups, whatever. We spawn that. For the scale, yeah, there's an index. So for the obstacles, can be whatever random size that I want. For these, I want them to just be their size. I could do this a bit better, I guess. I could just make it an end, you know, a bool, because the rest are the same. Maybe I'll change it later. Anyway, we spawn the thing. We make sure what we just spawned is actually valid, and then we attach it to the world. And that's about it, you know. So the objects themselves will have their own code and stuff. And here it's just placing, you know. We trace, we successful hit, we get the location, we print it, and over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm gonna put the obstacle frequency to something like something ridiculous. Let's say 1, and then yeah, let's go for actually let's go 0.5 every half a second. Let's see how long I can survive. Oh my gosh, this compiling time is so slow. Let's go to 0.5 and let's see how fast can we go. And after that, yeah, I mean, there's nothing really else to explain. The spawning is pretty simple. Like I have the moving world, shoot lasers at it. Every time you hit successfully, you 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 spawn something. Let's look at how it's spawning. Oh wow, it's pretty fast. Yeah, that's pretty slow. Yeah, let's go for 6. So now every I feel like it could be faster. Let's just hard code this for the example. So let's say I want a random float in range, so I want something between 0 and 0.5 or even 0.2. So this is going to give me an impenetrable fortress of obstacles. I'm going to assume. Let's go up so we don't get killed too quickly. And yeah, oh my goodness. So this is giving, so yeah, and that's how it kind of works. Can I actually like avoid this? Woo. Yeah, so the meters, when they hit stuff, it destroys the buildings. So this is actually not too impossible. I mean, it's far from impossible to play. This is kind of like what one of the last levels is going to look like, the city level. So yeah, I mean, it could go even crazier. It's all value based. So let's see, can we get this to go a bit crazier? Let's what happens if I put it even smaller number? So you see it kind of like it's topping out at around 300 actors. Right. Sorry, this was not planned to be part of the video. Let's say, what if you go like 0.05? Like, it's gonna be an impenetrable wall at this point. Um, let's eject, go up, eject, and let's see how this bad boy. Whoa, whoa. Okay, let's possess quick. Can we fly through this? Oh, okay. So this video is way over time, but I'm sorry. I'm actually having fun. Ah! Oh, wow. There's no way. No! No! No. Let's try again. Alright. So I got my bearings. There's also a first person camera, which is kind of. Ah! Yeah. Alright, let's see. So here comes our impenetrable city of obstacles. Yeah, I can. Oh, wow. It's making the engine go so slow. There's too much stuff. Yeah, so once it reaches about 500 actors, the controls get a bit rough. And now it's going faster. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. So they don't last forever. I guess I could kill them a bit faster. So once they reach hair, like they just get cleaned up. But I guess I could make it around hair, so the game doesn't have to consider all of that stuff behind it. So like once a jet is dead, once it's past the jet, like it should just be killed pretty quickly. But it's like kind of cool, like a mohawk is being generated. And so much for the 10 minutes for this video. I'm sorry. Oh wow, it's actually kind of cool how it's just generating like this. But they are kind of, I could add rules so that they don't like overlap and stuff. Because they do kind of overlap a little bit, not too much. And so yeah, I guess here you can see where it doesn't generate. You see where it does the fails, where it's green. Ironically, green is fail, red is success. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this for the procedural generation. Felt like this video went a bit better than the menus, but yeah, I'll see you next time.